That
Yeah.
is the process right there. That's a very typical experience of what someone experiences with me in coaching. We
Okay.
find out the origination of the roadblock, the obstacle, the impediment. We find its origination point, and then we just work with it, giving it the
Mhm.
tools to resolve that core issue.
Yeah.
Secondly, it realizes, oh, I'm not alone. So I don't have to be in the hormones of survival all the time with this thing, just trying to survive by fighting, fighting, fighting. So two things have happened now. The first
Mm.
is we've tracked back in time the first memory we can recall of this experience that you described around this fifth throat area. And it turned out that this went back many lifetimes into what we would potentially be ancient Greece or something similar. So that's cool. That's like a very early memory. Most folks will simply regress within their own lifetime to, some point as a child, typically where they experience something. And this happens to be a little further back. You made your introduction to that part. Let it know that there's another aspect of you in the future that's still carrying the burden. Now, working with that part as an adult when it morphed, you were able to feel some freedom in that, some lightening of that, and you let that part know you're not alone, brother. I got you. You ever need me again, reach out to me. Now, that part, which was in isolation,
Mm.
completely on its own, not
Yeah.
knowing how to deal with it, has a brother, and that brother is there to help it. So you've made that part aware that there are more aspects of you than just it. And it's no longer isolated and on its own. It's no longer the 5-year-old little boy freaked out about the judgment of the uncle. So
Yeah.
you've made peace with your part. And that part
Yeah.
now realizes it's part of a bigger whole. Then the second thing we did is as you're feeling this energy begin to dissipate and dissolve, you're pumping energy into the front, into the back, and then pulsing it and allowing it to expand. You're giving this crimp in the hose freedom to open fully, safe to open fully, because you've resolved the past trauma that was probably the beginning incident that carried forward.
Yeah.
And now you're providing it with more energy to say, no, we're good. We get to expand. And it's okay if I say something and somebody judges me, it doesn't matter. That's their
Yeah.
judgment. And I
Yeah.
stand and speak and honor my truth. That
Yeah.
is the process right there. That's a very typical experience of what someone experiences with me in coaching. We
Okay.
find out the origination of the roadblock, the obstacle, the impediment. We find its origination point. As I said, most of the time it happens in this lifetime's experience, but it's
Yeah.
not that uncommon to go past that. And then we just work with it. Now, a lot of people will tell me, Roger, am I just making this up in my mind? Is what I just experienced real? And my response to that is don't worry about it. Let me ask you this question. Do you feel better? Yeah. Then do you really care how you got there? Do you need to figure it out? Or can you just trust that you're that powerful that you, in just a few minutes' time, completely shifted this experience?
Yeah.
Don't get wrapped around the axle about the why or how is this possible. Just notice what you did made you feel better. That should be enough for you to just be okay with it.